Hello and welcome to a pretty special video of mine. Today we are going to talk about the upcoming Schnellfahrtstrecke Köln-Aachen and Trains in World 2. I did a bit of research and I hope I got the most of the data correct, and I apologize in advance if I messed something up. But in this video we are going to talk about the upcoming trains of the route, the speed limits of the route, and about which ICE, RE and S-Bahn lines could be featured in game. Oh, and as always, you can use the timeline to skip to the part you want to listen to. Well, let's start with the most interesting train, which is the long-awaited ICE 3M, which will be the first train in Trains in World to be able to reach speeds up to 330 km an hour, even though the maximum speed limit of the route will be 250 km an hour. The train has a total of 425 seats, where 91 of them are first-class seats. Speaking of first class, the ICE 3 trains usually have a so-called Panorama-Abteil, which is the first class compartment at the front of the train right behind the driver's seat, allowing passengers behind him to see what he sees. The glass separating the driver to the passengers behind him can be switched to non-transparent by pressing a button in the driver's cab. I'm not sure if the ICE 3M trains have that feature, but I guess they should have the glass as well. The other train we know is featured on the route is the Talent 2, which we already know from Rapid Transit. The difference to the previous train is that we have a different paint of the train, the so-called DB Regio repaint. Luckily I recently made a video about Talent 2 repaint, so I was able to get the DB Regio repaint working in Trains in World, which will be very similar to the upcoming version of the Talent 2. Apart from the fact that we may get a various set of cars this time, we will get a working destination display and maybe some changes of the interior like maps of the S-Bahn network Köln. Oh, and if you want to see my latest video about Talent 2 repaints, just click the first link in the description. Well, after we were speaking about the trains which will be featured in-game, I want to talk about how fast we can drive those trains on the new route. For that reason, I used Open Railway Map to get the speed limits of the route right and made an easy to understand visual of that. The route has a total length of 70 km, where 35 of them can be traveled at 250 km an hour, 5 km after that with 200 km an hour, 16 km with 160 km an hour, and the last 14 km to Aachen with 140 km an hour. Oh, and by the way, regional trains which use the same route aren't using the high-speed line capable of 250 km an hour. Instead, they have their own payoff track right next to the high-speed line with a speed limit of 140 km an hour. So after we discussed the top speeds of the route, we should discuss which lines could be part of the route and which lines actually are part of the route so far. So as you can see, I made another visual about almost all routes which could be featured in-game based on a chart from 2017 by the Deutsche Bahn. Based on this information, plus other informations from the Deutsche Bahn, plus other informations from Dovetail Games, I can show you which routes should be included in-game. So first we have the ICE line from Köln to Aachen. They usually run this line without any stop between the cities, but sometimes they do a stop at Düren. The ICE route which we will get is most likely line 79, which runs to Brussels. That's because ICE 3M trains are most likely running services to countries like the Netherlands or Belgium. The next line which should be included is the Regional Express line 1 and 9. Both are running the same route and stop at the same stops. The only difference between them is the city they start before they reach Köln. They drive from Köln to Aachen over Köln-Ehrenfeld, Horrem, Düren, Langerwehe, Eschweiler, Stolberg and Aachen-Rote Erde. This line should be operated with the Talent 2. Every other route I displayed here could be featured in Trains in World 2, but hasn't been confirmed yet, because the trains which are running the S-Bahn services in Köln are most likely the DB BR423, which almost looks like the DB BR425. From the route Rhein-Ruhr Hauptstrecke. In case the services of the S-Bahn lines would be included, the number of total stops we could make between Düren and Köln would be increased by 7 new stops. Köln-Münsterdorf Technologiepark, Löwenich, Köln-Weiden West, Frechen-Königsdorf, Sindorf, Buir and Merzenich. That's it so far about everything I could find about the upcoming route. I hope you guys enjoyed my video and learned something new about the upcoming Schnellfahrtstrecke Köln-Aachen you didn't know yet. Oh, thank you for 100 subscribers. I really appreciate your support, guys, and I'm looking forward to create more content more frequently in the future, even though it might not be as good as my repaint videos. But just as I said, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Goodbye.